Hey, it's Andrew Downs. I'm proud to support Three Beards Media, and I would love to work with you. If you need merchandise for your company, organization, band, softball team, whatever, I can help. From name brand apparel to promotional items, large orders or small, online stores, and more, I can help your brand stand out. AKC Marketing is local, based in Johnston, and we are an employee-owned business, so our costs are low and our turnaround times are fast. But most importantly, we give you personal service to make sure you get exactly what you're looking for. Email me at andrew@akcmarketing.com or find me on social media, and let's make some cool stuff together. Now sit back and enjoy this Three Beards Media podcast.
Drop it.
Welcome back to a brand new season, Season 5 of the Ball Don't Lie podcast, brought to you from our people at Three Beards Media, and we are live from the AKC Andrew Downs studio. I'm Ted Hawley, and I'm back for another season, our 5th season with Justin Smool. Justin, what's up, buddy?
Nothing, man. 5th season, dude. I can't believe it.
I know. That went fast, didn't it?
That went really
Second
fast.
year at Three Beards. This is great.
Yeah, awesome. Look forward to another fun year.
Yeah, it should be awesome. We got Andrew Barber producing for us in the background. Pig couldn't do it this week, so shout out to Andrew for that.
Yep.
Things are going to be a little different this year. We're going to back off. I'm going to do this one pick a week probably at the end of the podcast always with college. There's so much shooting in the dark, and I'm just going to be completely honest. I just don't know if we have the time anymore to put that research in to give you some quality plays, but we do still live, breathe, consume the NFL to probably an unhealthy level. We're going to focus even more on that this year.
Yep.
So for you new listeners, welcome. We'll try to give you some winners, kind of a quick recap on what we did last year, which, by the way, we need to get our plays into Ambrose. We did the Vegas Pick'em, Vegas Millions. What's it called? Vegas Millions?
Yeah, Circa Millions.
Circa Millions, yeah. That's a $1,500 entry, and we were really, really close to getting the money last year. They paid the top 100. You usually have to be about that 60% line. I think that's what it was again. And boy, with 2 weeks to go, we were sitting there in the money and just had kind of a little cooler those last 2 weeks, but that happens. 2 solid years again in the NFL, and hopefully we can keep you above that 55% of making money.
And we're another tease. We're in the Survivor this year as well.
We are in the Survivor this year.
So this will be a lot of fun for hopefully it's a lot of fun. Hopefully it's not like week 3 and we're done. But
we did not discuss that before we did it here. A lot of times we will use the podcast for our plays, and we will post our Circa plays on our social media handles. We kind of use the podcast as almost a therapy session to get our plays together there. Yeah, we'll do the same thing for our Survivor, and a lot of times we'll say it when we agree with something on here too. But it's a little bit of what we do. We're gonna for this week 1 though. This is one of my favorite things to do. Justin, not so much. He likes the over/under win totals for some teams, but I love the preseason future plays. I think I have about 24 of them here. I think I probably have in the 40s between my different gambling accounts. So we might as well just get jump started here and get into it. And I should probably run through some. I'm going to assume you want me to get started.
Yeah. Go ahead. Give me some of your stuff.
So I'll start with my team stuff here first. I have the Cowboys minus 125 under 10 wins. I just feel there's just a little too much going on there between all their contract stuff. I do think Philly's going to be better. And my main reason for playing this is I think the Giants and Washington are both going to be just a little bit better than they were last year. I see it. I see the Cowboys winning a max 10 games on that schedule. So that's a push on that. But I see the under hitting. I see an 8-9, 9-8 season for Dallas, and them taking a step backwards this year.
Yeah. I don't hate that. I don't have it. I'll stick with another 10-1. That's Green Bay Packers under 10. For me, to me, it just is like the Jordan Love is like, it's too much. Do it again. And you know how that division's hard. That division's gotten better. Sure, the injury to McCarthy stinks for the Vikings, but the Bears are improved, and they're going to win some games this year. And they're going to be, yeah. So the Packers got to go win 11. I don't know. I think it's a tall tale task for them. We'll see. It's more just prove it to me. If you're legit that good, you got to back it up in the NFL back-to-back years. And I also think they can do it.
Sure. Well, I'll stay on your kind of thread there with the too much love, and that is the Houston Texans.
We agree.
They came out of nowhere last year.
Yep.
I still think they're going to be a fine football team, but you saw a historical collapse by the Jags, the back half. For the Texans to get in, the Jags to just miss.
Yep.
And the Colts got Richardson back, and I'm also just a firm believer in the Colts. And the Texans are playing a first-place schedule this year instead of a fourth-place schedule. That's why I say it. I do think they're going to be fine. They'll be around for a long time. They got a lot of great playmakers, but I think the Bills even got a little addition by subtraction with Diggs. There's a lot of mouths to feed, and bringing him in with those two young guys with Tank Dell and Nico Collins, bringing Diggs in there too, how are we going to keep him happy? Because he wasn't happy with 115 targets last year. How's he going to react when he's getting 70 this year? Because there's just no way he's getting 100 targets on that football team.
Right. I completely agree with this pick too. I
got under 9.5 wins at plus money. I took it out. I got an under 9.5 at plus 108. I'm getting plus money on that pick. And I just think that. So I'll stay with that with what I just said. It's kind of 3 plays in one here. Because of that, I had the Jags over 8.5 wins. I think they're going to be in that 9-10 win range at minus 105. And I had the Colts over 8 wins.
I like that. I
love the Colts this year. I love the Colts this year.
Yeah.
So much so that I had the Colts to win the South also at plus 300. They're my play to win the South this year. So I had the Colts over 8 wins, Jags over 8.5 wins, and the Texans under 9.5 wins. And I also have the Colts at plus 300 to win the division.
Yeah, I have that Colts too at the division. I like that pick. So I guess we will agree on one playoff pick for sure.
I see that.
Bills under 10. You and I have even talked about this kind of. They've lost a lot, and Josh Allen's getting paid. They had a window and they did really well. They never got over the hump. I just think now that division also. I mean, a healthy Aaron Rodgers this year. I just don't see it. Josh, he cannot turn the ball over like he has been because they don't have what they used to have for weapons. I love Keon Coleman, I guess. Okay, I'll throw a random play on my head. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Keon Coleman. I have no idea his odds. I have no idea. I think he's going to get
a ton of targets.
And that's only
over 100 targets for sure.
So I just don't see it unless Josh Allen somehow, some way, miraculously starts taking care of the ball. 11 wins for that team. I think they're up against it, man. I think we could see massive regression here. More than I think against Green Bay, to be honest.
So we had this talk in probably June-ish, and I was 100% on your side, and I've flipped.
Oh, no. You like them.
The Bills to win the East at plus 220.
Oh, gosh.
I do think 10 wins could possibly get it done there.
I agree.
My reasoning a little bit is the Jets got to show me something first. Rodgers has to show me he can stay healthy. And his last year in Green Bay wasn't great. I expect him to be fine. I had the Jets making the playoffs in my picks.
Yeah.
I see a tie between the Jets and the Bills in a record, and the Bills having the tiebreaker. I'm taking the Bills to win the division. And it's the reasons you said. I think Josh Allen's sick of hearing it. And maybe it's because I took him on 3 fantasy teams too. I think he's going to be their goal line back. I kind of like the Josh Allen MVP odds. Those have softened compared to most years on him too.
Yeah, that's fair.
This is the biggest, like you said, he has to prove it. he has to take care of the ball now. There is less weapons there. They're younger. If he's not Superman, but Superman for him's got to be not having 15 turnovers this year either. He has to take care of the ball and be the man.
You do. Yep.
Because I can score points too, because they've lost between the linebackers they lost and with Hyde and Poyer. That was one of the better. I mean, they were aging, but those were still really good safeties.
Defensively, I just feel like the drop off is really going to get at them.
But my reason for this too is I think the most overrated team isn't the Bills in that division. I think the Miami Dolphins are the most overrated team in the NFL.
Ooh, really? Okay.
The most overrated team. I have them hammered at under 10 wins, at minus 110. So pretty decent odds on that too. I think the Miami Dolphins win 8 games max this year. I think the McDaniel act's going to soften a little bit when he's not the cute guy anymore. It's really cool when it's working in South Beach.
Yeah.
But boy, the media can turn on you quick too. And you got to show it to me again, Tua. I do think Tua's going to throw for 1,000,000 yards this year.
Yeah.
Because I think he's going to have to.
Yeah.
But that defense lost a bunch of people from last year. They got guys hurt again too. I don't know who they have rushing the passer right now. I think they're going to have to score in the 35 plus to win games. I don't know if they can do that every single game. That's a lot to ask Tua.
It is for sure. I mean, they obviously have the crazy amount of weapons, but I see where you're going with this. Like, I mean, we're kind of obviously my pick would be the Dolphins for second because you're higher on the Bills than I am, and so like it's just kind of that. But it's going to be one of those. Like one of them is regressing. I think that's
they just have to. They have to.
Yeah.
You're not going to have 3 teams in that division win 10 games. It's not going to happen.
So I mean, correct. Let's see. I have the Saints under 7.5.
Interesting.
I think. Look, Derek Carr is. We know what he is.
We agree on Derek Carr.
I like this. It's not that I hate the Saints roster. I really like Olave, but they just don't win football games.
I don't like their coach. I don't like Allen.
I agree with that actually too. I think the division is harder. I think
compared to last year, I'll give you that. It's hard to not be.
I think the Falcons are a major upgrade.
Yes.
And Bryce Young can't play any worse than he did. I think that's impossible.
That is also correct.
So that being said, like, are they really borderline a 500 football team? I just don't see it. I don't. Someone has to be bad. And I think my opinion, it's them. I really think they're last place material.
You could be right. There's guys that really have to perform on their defense there, and I got to look up. I did something in the division. I don't have it here too, but I'm not going to fight you on that one, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't think I would bet it because I don't have them making the playoffs. So for them to miss the playoffs, it's going to be 8 wins max, which probably is less.
Yeah.
So you could get me on board with that.
Okay.
Derek Carr has to be better than he's been. I don't see him being better, and that defense has to continue to be, the top notch that they've been. And I'm just not sure that is a thing.
Same.
Either. So I do think the Falcons are winning that division. Their odds aren't great anymore. So you kind of missed a window. There was a window there.
There was
midsummer where it was like minus 150 even. It's like over 200 now. I think.
Yeah.
So it's just that's not worth the play because there's so much. There's a new staff in Atlanta too. They stubbed their toe a little bit, and maybe Tampa's still all right.
Sure.
It's not worth it for the juice anymore.
Yep.
Okay. I can get with that. We can move over the team that I like again too, and they were kind of a little bit of a surprise last year. I think they're going to build on that, and they're going to be better than they were. So I think you're going to have some guys get a little bit healthier. If Cooper Kupp can stay healthy for the whole year too, I love the Rams over 9 wins at minus 135. Okay. I have the Rams making the playoffs at minus 150. I think that division's really tough. Because I'm very high on the Cardinals this year. I think the Cardinals are making the playoffs as well. That's my surprise team making the playoffs of that. But I'm a big Kyler Murray guy. And this is just weird to shut everybody.
You know what? This will be funny when we get to our playoffs because I'm my last pick in the NFC to make it. It's between the Cardinals and another team, and I'm not quite sure where I'm going. So it probably shocks you that I'm actually in agreement with you.
I bet you have it between the Bears and the Cardinals, don't you?
You are exactly correct.
I did too. Out of just not because I look at the Bears schedule.
Yep.
I actually made a bet on them on the under. I think it was a bad bet because I looked at their schedule.
Yeah. So that is why I'm like, so my thing is I'm leaning Bears. See,
you probably should.
I knew we'd see eye to eye.
Yeah, we do. That was between those two teams for my last playoff spot.
Yeah, that's between my two. That's funny.
So I had the Rams making the playoffs there at -150. I think the Rams are solid. I think Stafford is in the right spot. He's healthy again too. They're just going to keep building on what they had last year. Man, they were a problem in the playoffs. They were a tough out last year.
Yeah,
they're right there from being a real problem. I think they will be again.
Yep. I have the Titans over 6.
Really?
And yeah, so I think
you got to talk me through that one because I got to see it from Will Levis, and I don't know.
I think now, so truth, I feel like Vrabel actually held him back a little bit.
Wow.
I do. I think he was like uber conservative when they threw him in the mix. I mean, Tennessee has a little bit more weapons now that like who's in control. To me, like Levis
We're
is
gonna
no
find
doubt.
out what kind of play caller he is, and I do agree with you that the style of play you're going to see from Tennessee this year, they're going to try to sling it. It's going to be spread out more.
Correct.
And so if you still have a fantasy draft or you want to play if you do some daily fantasy stuff, don't be afraid of Ridley and Hopkins because they're both going to get a bunch of balls. So I think they're going to throw it there's not going to be the same style of offense. We're going to see if Levis is good or sucks though.
Correct.
Maybe early on in the first month.
And I just think so. If you think about it, I mean, more of this is like, okay, in the NFL of a year, even the bad, like the worst team in the league probably wins like 4 games.
Yeah. So,
I mean, in my head, I'm like, are they actually the worst? Do I really truly believe they are a top 5 worst team in the league? I don't. I really don't. What's that?
Like Denver's going to be. We're terrible. We're atrocious.
Your roster ain't great, but you're going to pull some upsets at home. And that's what I feel like Tennessee's going to do too. They're going to catch people off guard because you know that teams that get overlooked that are kind of bad, but are going to be like sneaky competitive on those weird situation spots. That's where I think Tennessee's going to pull it. And I think they have the offensive ability to do it. So
they're going to have to pull some upsets off in their division because it's going to be tough in their division. They have to win a bunch outside of the division.
Yeah, and see that's where like you're higher on the Jags than I am with him.
I am higher on the Jags and I am on the Colts, and I think the Texans are going backwards, but that's just going to be tough for them to win a division game this year.
Yeah, I mean they're going to have to do it at home for sure.
For sure. Okay. I mean, I don't hate it. I had the Chargers missing the playoffs at -150. The juice isn't great there, but I just think that it's going to take more than a year. I do think Harbaugh's going to get them turned back around. This isn't it. I have some shares of Gus Edwards in fantasy plays just because of somebody's got to touch the ball. He does not have his dudes yet. I don't know who the hell is going to catch the ball over there for them.
Josh Palmer.
Josh Palmer is absolutely – if you want a guy that's going to get just steady dude to be a potential flex play or absolutely be on your bench, I think I have Josh Palmer in 4 leagues. Josh Palmer has to be their number 1 receiver. He's not a number 1 receiver. He's a Mohamed Sanu guy that you love having on your team that's your 3 or 4 and can be your 1 or 2 when you have injuries. Not your number 1 guy, and he might be. I just don't think they have the roster yet to do it. I think they're a year away. I just don't think they're going to make the playoffs this year. Just don't.
The only reason I think they probably have a somewhat shot is because, A, you're not high on your Broncos. I'm really not high on my Raiders. But then again, I never am, and like the Raiders always beat the Chargers. So I mean, I don't know, but so I feel like someone has to get second, and it to me like just I'm giving Harbaugh the edge.
I just don't think second place in the West this year is going to be good enough to make the playoffs. That's what
I mean, you're right. I mean, we see this eye to eye. So, yep. I don't have any more win totals, by the way.
So, I mean, I'm out of totals too. Actually, I have one more. And this is a surprise because I was off them last year, and I think all the stream is going the opposite way on the Eagles right now. That was an epic collapse. They have 2 new coordinators in. And I think Dallas takes a huge step back.
Okay, yeah.
Their schedule's a little more favorable this year. The Philadelphia Eagles are going over 11 wins, probably getting the 1 seed in the NFC. Like I see this as a 12-13 win team this year. I think they get back to figuring some stuff out. I mean, dude, they went 11-6 because they went like 1-6 to end the season, or they should have hammered that last year too. That's not going to happen.
Yeah,
Saquon Barkley is a big deal to take pressure off all those little plays that Hurts had to make before. Dump him the ball and get it. You're getting extra 15. Also, get off if you're a Devontae Smith owner, you should try to trade him before the year starts because he's going to have zero value by October because he's going to get half the targets this year. Same with Goddard. I have Goddard
unless he's just the deep ball guy.
You're right, but if he's just a deep ball guy, he's going to lose 40 targets.
Sure. I mean, yeah, probably. Yeah, it will be interesting to see that mix for sure.
I think Saquon's going to get the ball a bunch in the run and pass game.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So I think the Eagles are that kind of everybody's off them, and I kind of go against the grain on that stuff. So I think I'm getting this at even money at over 11 wins.
Okay. I can be on board with it. I wouldn't go under. You're right. I mean, the only reason it's probably like a stay away is just it's just a lot. It's hard to win that many games in the league.
It's really hard. I don't hammer this play, but this is a 1 unit play for me.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
And I hate giving this much juice, but this is just how certain I am because of their schedule and their division. The Steelers might go 9-8 and miss the playoffs this year. They're minus 210 to miss the playoffs. That is brutal. The Bengals are going to be better. I love the Ravens. And since he's a put up or shut up, like the Steelers went 5-1 somehow in the division last year. That is not happening again.
Mike Tomlin.
Look at their schedule, dude. It is brutal outside of it too with who they have to play.
Yeah.
It's just brutal. I went through it. I got some Luke Potos, a good buddy. He keeps trying to talk me, and I go, show me 10 wins on that schedule. Yeah. I'm giving you some coin flips, and I'm getting to 8.
Right. My partner.
Yeah, your partner, Luke. You guys made some money this year. So that's all my team plays, though.
Okay. Yeah. No, I kind of agree with you. That division is just a gauntlet, man. They just beat each other. It's so hard. And quite frankly, hey, you know what? You don't got to commit. Russell Wilson's playing quarterback. I mean,
for a bit.
Well,
you're going to see Fields this year.
Well, yeah, right. But I mean, even if you told me 3 weeks, like I crossed the Steelers off week 1 because of Russell. I wanted them week 1.
I get it. Man.
Can't do it.
Well, we can run through some players here quick, and then we can get to a break and get to our week 1 stuff. Okay. We are going to kind of try to keep the podcast under a half hour when we get back to our regular stuff, but without the features, it should be pretty easy to do. Yeah. Kind of keep it as a quick listen for you guys. My biggest play here is it kind of goes with my thoughts I just gave you on the Eagles. Nick Sirianni for Coach of the Year is plus 4,100. I bet $50 to pay off 2,050.
Oh, that's really good odds. Wow.
Plus 4,100, Coach of the Year, Nick Sirianni.
Yeah, that's really good odds.
And I just kind of feel like if he does that, if he goes that 13-4 this year with what kind of happened to him last year, it's not expected this year like it was last year.
Yeah.
It kind of comes back. So a lot of that is getting that stink off of it. For those odds, it was just insane. So that was my Hail Mary there too. Do you have any player plays?
Nothing. I just thought of Keon Coleman on the fly there, but I don't look at it. I never look at him.
So I'll rip some through here that you're going to like too. And I know you're going to like this one, and I guarantee you'll play it when we get done. Because I know you're big on Jaden Daniels as well.
Yes.
Over 550 yards rushing. He's going to get to 800 yards rushing this year easy.
I do like that.
If he stays healthy, he's getting 550 yards, no problem. And that's minus 110. So 550 yards rushing for Jaden Daniels, I absolutely love. CeeDee Lamb had like 130 catches last year. His over-under is 104.5 at minus 110. Give me the over on CD. He's going to get the ball a bunch.
Yeah.
So I love that play as well. And I just think that the Cowboys are going to have to throw the ball more. I don't know if they're going to be able to run the football this year. So for those reasons, I think Dak at over 4,100 yards is kind of a layup. I think you have to throw the ball 50 times a game. I don't.
And he might.
You have Dalvin Cook, Zeke, and then Rico Dowdle. Who's going to run the football? And their offensive line is not the maulers that they used to be. They can't line up and smash it in your face anymore.
No, they've changed the style.
Gonna have to throw the ball this year.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a different look for the Cowboys offensive, which is also why I like the under.
Yeah.
Here's one that I kind of like if he can stay healthy, because he just goes on. He might get this in 3 weeks. He might not score touchdowns the rest of the year. But AJ Brown over 8.5 touchdowns is plus money. Plus 102.
Yeah. Okay.
if he might get that in 3 weeks. He had a month run last year that was absolutely insanity. He didn't get the ball forever. He got the ball a bunch, didn't get the ball at all. Guess what? When they got on the ball, they won football games.
Yeah, he's a difference maker.
He is absolutely a difference maker. The reason I'm nervous about that is how much is Saquon going to use in the passing game, because it could be a lot.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. It's just where the targets are going to lie in terms of like if they're going to start doubling him so much and taking him out, and that's the only issue there. But yeah, I mean, I don't.
Which is why I took Devontae Smith under 6.5 touchdowns. It's minus 130. I'm paying a bunch of juice there. I think it's 135. Under 6.5 touchdowns, just because I just don't.
Yeah,
don't see it, because I think I have to put a guy over the top on him because everybody plays those two deeps now anyway. He's gonna have. And I could be completely wrong on him, but he's a guy that I'm just soured on this year.
Sure,
he's got his money too.
Yeah, fair enough.
Sometimes that happens.
Yep.
Garrett Wilson was only over 7.5 touchdowns. How many back shoulder corner passes is Rodgers going to check out of on the run play from the 1 yard line to throw to that guy?
150.
Okay, he's going to get 30 of those attempts. He needs to catch 8 of them.
That's my
on those plays.
That is my favorite one you've said.
Minus 130 on it. It's a decent amount of juice. I don't care. 7.5 touchdowns for Garrett Wilson. If he stays healthy, he might get over 7.5 on just 1 to 2 yard back shoulder throws from Rodgers.
He will have double-digit touchdowns.
I agree with you. I completely agree with you.
That's my favorite one. That's a
way too low at 7.
For sure. Yep, for sure.
You know, also I think it's too low just because he's too good. If he stays healthy, I get it. Sam Darnold's playing quarterback, but Jefferson's also 7.5. He's at minus 110.
Oh, see, that scares me.
It scares me a little bit too. He is so damn good. I have to take him over 7.5.
He is. Oh Lord,
I'm with you. Some people are absolutely loving Sam Darnold. They did this last year. People, are you forgetting? Have you just not watched this guy play football?
He's horrible.
He's not great.
Oh, I couldn't stomach that. I feel like you're sweating.
You might be right. This isn't a real confident play on there, but it made the board.
Yeah, fair.
You made the board.
I mean, I get it. You're taking Jefferson. Like
you're taking Justin Jefferson.
You're betting on him.
He's incredible.
Yeah, for sure.
I actually love this play. I think this is his last year to be a really productive player, and he's with Baltimore. And I think they know this is Baltimore's kind of window. It's kind of a last dance all-in thing here. I think Derrick Henry is going to get fed the rock inside the red zone. Over 10.5 touchdowns for Derrick Henry. Minus 120. I mean, think about Gus Edwards and all those 1 yard runs they had from those guys, because they pounded into their running backs on that. Derrick Henry's getting that ball every single time.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah. Okay, that's my second favorite one.
Every time he's getting the ball. He's got to stay healthy, though. He's getting older. I mean, there's a reason he's not in Tennessee anymore. Just fact.
For sure. Well, yeah. And money.
Yep. Josh Allen, over 8.5 rushing touchdowns. He's going to be their goal line back. I actually like James Cook a lot. I think he's going to be really involved in fantasy. He's going to catch a lot of balls. I don't know how much you're going to see of him inside the 20, though. I think inside the 20 is going to be Josh Allen or bust.
Yeah, if he doesn't give it to the other team.
That's it. But I think he's gonna be their goal line back. They're going to put him in shotgun. He's going to scramble and make plays in there. I like over 8.5 rushing touchdowns for Josh Allen. And I'm getting even money at that, plus 100. Then I got one more play here, and this is similar, and this is actually plus 132. And the reason this is probably plus 132 is because he's got to stay healthy, and it's Tua. I think Miami's going to be trailing in games. I think they're going to have to throw the crap. They got to run it a bunch last year, and he still threw for 4,500 yards, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, a ton.
So it's over 4150. He can maybe miss 2 games and still hit that.
Yeah. Well, because he's going to have like just a monster month, which he always does.
Yeah, he's gonna have multiple 400-yard games.
Yeah. Yep.
So that you're getting plus 132 on that. That was kind of a stab. I think I put a unit on that as well, just because it's going to pay a little better. So those are my plays. Sure. There's a ton of them. We're not going to run through all these here because it takes too long, and we're at a half hour already. But let's get into our playoff picks real quick, and then we'll throw it back.
Okay.
I'll go first here. My division winners, I had the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Colts, and the Bills all win the division. And then I had the Jets, Bengals, and Jags all making it as wild cards.
Okay.
I had the 49ers, Lions, Eagles, and Falcons winning division. And I had the Packers, Rams, and Cardinals making it in wild card.
Okay. Yeah, and two, people need to realize you have to go outside the box. This is the NFL. Every single year, it's crazy, but a bare minimum of 4 new teams make it. The team that you think is probably going to stink, they have a shot. And
the Texans won the division last year, and they thought they're going to be the worst team in the league.
Correct. So, point in case. Okay, my division winners, Jets, so we disagree there. Jets, Bengals, Colts, and Chiefs. My player, who do I want to go with here? I'm going Dolphins, Baltimore, and I'm torn. Tennessee.
Woo! Wow. That is incredible. That pick is incredible.
Bills miss.
You're over 6 wins. You had me listening to you on the over 6 wins part. Tennessee making the playoffs.
Yeah.
You're a crazy man. I got to see what the odds are for them to make the playoff. You need to go make that bet. You have to make that bet now.
Right. Now I have. Yeah, you're right. I got to look at that. And I don't look at it. Okay. NFC, we got, I agree with you, Eagles. I got Eagles, Lions, Falcons, and Niners. The wild cards will be the Rams. We agree there. I'm going to go Rams. I'm going to go Bears and oh gosh.
You going Packers or Cardinals?
Neither. I think I'm going to go Dallas. I'm not high on Green Bay.
You've made that clear.
Yeah, you're right. I think both of us are spot on with Arizona.
They're playing in a really tough division, though, man.
I know that's the only thing that scares me.
Seattle's not going to be a layup out of there either. Seattle's a tough out as well.
And see, they just missed actually for me. They just missed for me.
All right, so playoff picks. I have the Jets, Bengals, Colts, Chiefs win divisions. Or sorry, you have the Jets, Bengals, Colts, Chiefs win the divisions. Eagles, Lions, Falcons, Niners win the divisions. And your wild cards are the Dolphins, Ravens, Tennessee. Then you have the Rams, Bears, and Dallas in the NFC for plays there. All right, well, that kind of wraps up all our preseason predictions, bets, plays. We're going to throw it to a word from our sponsors and we'll get back with our week 1 plays.
Making great tasting bourbon requires the perfect combination of ingredients, conditions, and time. The longer it rests, the better it tastes. Revelton Distillery's new single barrel bourbon is made from 80% corn, sourced 100% from Iowa farmers. And unlike mass-produced bourbons, each barrel of Revelton's single barrel bourbon is unique, proofed on when it tastes best. As they like to say, it'll be ready when it's ready. And to ensure the highest standards of quality and flavor, owners Rob and Christy Taylor oversee the production and bottling. Every single barrel. Iowa born, Iowa aged, Iowa bottled. Try the new single barrel bourbon from Iowa's own Revelton Distillery. ReveltonDistillery.com. In 2023, a crack Green Beret named Dan Douglas retired his military command and promptly escaped to a full-time career in real estate. Today, this man is wanted by home buyers and sellers who want to survive the process without spending a fortune. If you have a home to sell or want to buy one, maybe you can hire Dan Douglas at Green Beret Realty. You can find him at greenberetrealty.com. greenberetrealty.com.
Welcome back again to the season premiere of Season 5 of the Ball Don't Lie podcast, brought to you by Three Beards Media. We are live from the AKC Andrew Downs studio. And again, thank you to our sponsors, Revelton Distillery and the Green Beret Realty. Special shout out again to Andrew Barber producing tonight, as Pig couldn't do it for us. Let's jump into it very quick. Yep. I have 5 plays for week 1.
Okay.
The first one probably isn't surprising.
Okay.
I have the Colts on the road +3 at Houston for all the reasons we just talked about pretty much at length.
Yep. 100% agreement. They're on the card for me. So
there's one
play. There's 1 play knocked out. That's a good feeling.
That is a good feeling.
Okay.
I'm gonna take the Cleveland Browns at home -2.5 versus Dallas, and this is again kind of what I talked about too. It's Cleveland's they're just tough out anyway. Cleveland getting less than a field goal at home. I'm gonna take them.
Okay. I'm gonna go with the Carolina Panthers getting 4 at the Saints. You know my feelings on the Saints. I shared that. I'm not a Bryce Young guy. However, I said he can't play any worse than he did. Division rivals early on. It's kind of with the Colts, like same play. You take division dogs early in the season.
And the Panthers were kind of a tough out with the spread the back half of last year. They covered a bunch of games they shouldn't have.
Yep. So I just don't. Saints being more in the field goal over anybody, man. Like I just think you just got to pause.
Well, it's just built for a backdoor too. When you're down 10 or whatever, you're gonna try to get to that 3 number. And so that +4 was a good number for that stuff. Okay, I'm gonna go with the team that you don't like against a team you like more than me, and that's the Jags getting 3.5 at Miami.
Okay.
Just kind of into what I gave my spiel to Miami this year, and I'm higher on the Jags, and I like the hook there. I like getting the extra hook.
Yeah. Titans +4 at the Bears. Look, I had both teams had them both making it, but here to me, it's like, look, I think Caleb's going to be really good this year. I really do. I like this Bear. I actually like this Bears team quite a bit, but the thing is, you got to prove it before you can start earning to be more than favored by your field goal.
You're still the Bears.
Correct. And it's like, well.
All right, Chris, you're still the Bears.
You got to prove it. So week 1, I don't know. I'll take the Titans +4.
Well, I'll tell you what, these are the games you're going to have to nip off your Titans to make the playoffs too. You want a good start, go ahead and steal that week 1 win there, and you're off and running.
Right.
Okay. You should probably like this play because we both kind of like the Cardinals, and you do not like Buffalo this year. But I think Buffalo giving over a touchdown to anybody this year. I had the Bills to win the division, but I think they're going to be in dogfights. Going to have to claw and scratch all year long to get wins. Cardinals getting 6.5 at Buffalo early before it gets cold. I will take Kyler Murray in September in Buffalo getting 6.5 points.
I agree. I mean, they just missed for me, but you're not going to have to convince me on that one. My 4th, I'm going to go Commanders getting 3.5 at Tampa. I'm really high on Daniels this year.
Oh, my man. I really am too.
The Commanders' defense is what's really scary, and maybe they don't click right away. It's just the whole thing of that division, leg numbers, like Tampa. Are they really high-powered anymore? You
lost your coordinator. He's in Carolina.
Right. So
he was a big deal for Baker last year. So we'll see how Baker rebounds on that. Because you and I are Baker guys. We do like seeing him having some success.
That's for sure.
See, I kind of like Washington this year too, but I'm with you for what you just said. So I'm going to stay away from it because it might take him a month or so just to figure some stuff out.
For sure.
There's a lot of new faces there. There's a new regime. There's a lot of stuff too. I do think he'll get the defensive side of the ball right. I'm just not sure it's going to be week 1.
Yeah, fair enough.
I have one more play. It's a team I don't like against a team that I like less. And I just feel like Harbaugh is going to come out with his opener, and he's not going to lay egg in his opener. I think the season's not going to go as well as some people think it's going to go, but I just don't think the Raiders are very good. There's a lot of buildup. It's at home. I just think Harbaugh is going to win his opener, and he's going to win it by a touchdown. So I'm going to take the Chargers -3 versus the Raiders.
Yeah, actually lean that way myself, to be honest. I'm just curious on the Raiders defense. I'll see how much improved it is. They have made changes, and on paper, it looks a lot better. We'll see. My favorite play of the week, plug your nose. It is the New York Football Giants.
Just missed for me.
I mean, I could go on a long spiel, but it's Sam Darnold favored on the road. Why? I don't care.
What is the line? Is it 3?
No, they're it's 1.5 Vikings.
It's 1.5. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I kept looking. I kept going back. I'm like, I don't understand it. Like, I don't like Danny Dimes. I know you don't either. But New York's gonna be okay. I think they're gonna be sneaky. I don't think
they're going to be closer to the team they were. We say this every year too. Some years teams aren't as good as the record said, and some years the teams aren't as bad as the record said. Yep. And most of the time they're somewhere in the middle. And the Giants the last 2 years that was the case twice. Yep. Losing Saquon does hurt. Where are you going to get some of that offense? Devin Singletary's not going to be Saquon. Are you going to get enough from some of those other guys? Neighbors is going to have to be elite. Our buddy Danny Niehaus thinks he is. He loves over 900 yards receiving for Neighbors. It's one of his favorite plays for that. So there's a really good chance this could make our card for Circa.
Okay, yeah. I'm just going against. I mean, hey, if Darnold comes out and balls, then sure, we'll revisit the Vikings. But until that happens,
week 1 is really tough anyway. Don't go. Keep yourself around your unit bets. Don't be smashing anything yet because the NFL is weird. Some teams going to be way better than you think. Some going to be way worse. That's why I don't play any over-unders early because you just got to get to see what – you kind of let it play out a little bit. But football is back. It is among us. This is great. Do you have any more plays for NFL? I both have 5.
No, that's it.
So we'll recap here quick into my plays were the Colts +3, the Browns -2.5, the Jags +3 in the hook, Cardinals +6.5, and the Chargers -3. And Small had the Colts +3, Panthers +4, Titans +4, Washington +3.5, and the Giants +1.5 for all dogs. And if you're a new listener, you're going to learn very quickly with Small that will not be the last time that happens this year.
Correct.
It will not be the last time that happens.
No.
All right, so that wraps up our plays for NFL Week 1. Why don't we talk about the Cy-Hawk game kind of real quick?
Yeah.
For me, this line really, 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 really stinks. Vegas not moving the line off 2.5 for Iowa. I bet Iowa. I did. I bet 1.5 on Iowa -2.5. Boy, does that stink, especially with some of the injuries that Iowa State has come this week. I thought it would move off of it. It hasn't. And we'll talk a lot about this year too. It happens a lot with college football, but it does in the pros too. Yeah. Vegas is begging you to take Iowa here. Why? I don't get it. Iowa looked a lot better in Week 1 than Iowa State did. Yep. Iowa State has some injuries. Don't know who's playing on their offensive line. Couldn't run the football last week.
No.
Why is Iowa why has it not gone up? It's in Kinnick.
I think it's more just fool's gold. I think probably looking through it's more. I just don't think Vegas really is impressed with what Iowa did last week, more or less. And and that opponent as well. Like, yeah, I agree. I mean, Iowa State, I wasn't impressed. I thought defensively, it was same side. I just don't like it. I don't like the scheme. But I'm with you. I mean, I would lean Iowa 100%. 100%. But
they're actually be my play. They're my one play this week is Iowa -2.5, just because I don't get it.
Yeah, so, it doesn't make sense.
Show me Vegas. Right. I would love nothing more than to lose to start the year 0-1 in college football.
Sure. Yeah, I mean,
but just don't be Iowa State and lose 21-19.
I do think Iowa State's going to be able to spread them out, and I hope that I think that will be. We'll see if they do. I don't know. I mean,
we're going to have to. We're not going to be able to run the ball on them, especially if we
no, for sure. All right, my play is South Florida +31 at Alabama. I mean, yeah, I know.
Well, we're back already with your stinky
Look, I couldn't resist. I tried to do a game everyone could watch, and I'm like, I can't. I just have to pick this game. I have this South Florida team. I love this team. I have them to win the American this year, like 6-1. I really like this team. And Alabama blew out Western Kentucky last week. I think that was fool's gold as well. Western Kentucky's no good at all. But I think that kind of plays in the fact it's like, oh, maybe Bama's not as bad as we think. Play someone that's a little tougher, and we'll find out. I mean, it's 31.
That's a lot of points, man.
A lot of points. I really do. I think South Florida is like a sneaky. I think they're a team just to keep an eye on this year. So 31 is a ton. I don't know. Alabama, Saban, he hates me in the past, so maybe it just carries over to a new coach. We'll find out.
Oh, that's great. All right, bud. Well, hey, we're back. Football's here. Follow us on our socials. We'll put our Circa Pick 5 in there, as well as our Survivor plays for you guys.
Yeah.
So follow us on Twitter and Facebook for that. Again, thank you to Andrew Barber. Thank you to all our sponsors. And again, it's great to be back for season 5, our second season with Three Beards Media. But for Justin, I'm Ted. Till next time, cash that ticket.